Hey y'all, I just wanted to show y'all a little bit of the front of the house this afternoon. It's Friday afternoon. I'm home from work. We had a really busy day at the nursery, but I decided, while it feels so good out, that I will just do a quick video. So the main thing that I want to show y'all is that I took up the podocarpus that was on the front corners of my porch, and I put in Fire Chief Arbor Vita. I'm so excited. It is really cute. So I will pop up some info on the screen about the Fire Chief. And we had just gotten it into the nursery for the first time, and I was looking at it, and I just thought it was really cool. So the new growth on the Fire Chief Arbor Vita, it's like a red bronzy color. So it has this really neat effect whenever it's got new growth on it. It's really cool. Now, let's go look at the other side. Okay, I'm just gonna do a span of this side here, and then I'll talk to y'all about the plants. Now, my favorite thing in this garden bed that runs the span of my driveway. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry the camera's shaking a little bit. I'm trying to walk and I'm in Crocs. Okay, so it runs the span of my driveway all the way up to the sidewalk. Up there, we put in 2 groups of 3 Oakland hollies. This magnolia, it is a teddy bear magnolia. So, you know, the southern magnolia that gets enormous. So this is the teddy bear, and it is a smaller growing variety. It's going to be about 20 feet tall and about 12 feet wide at maturity. So it's just a much easier to manage tree in the landscape. And it's really similar to the Little Gem magnolia. But the difference is that the leaf of the teddy bear is a rounder. And like, I really love that brown on the bottom. That's my favorite part. And the Little Gem leaf, it's like skinnier and pointier. And a lot of people like the Little Gem better. It's just a personal preference. And then we have a mass of Encore azaleas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in the back, you're looking at Ligustrum recurvifolium, aka recurve. So if you didn't know, we live right next door to my parents. So that is my parents' house. And so I didn't necessarily want to block it, but I did want to give a sense of just like definition between the 2 yards. When we moved in, there were a couple of cherry laurels, which are very invasive here, and a huge hedge of camellias. And now it's changed so much, I don't even really know where that hedge stopped. I think the hedge went from like all the way here to all the way at the corner of the driveway. So it was a really big camellia hedge, which I took out by myself, by the way, with an axe, a shovel, and a truck and a strap. And I don't ever want to do that again. It was terrible. But I was trying to accomplish the layered look, and I was trying to get the things on the edge of the bed to be the smaller items. So the camellia hedge wasn't working. So the big thing here is this river birch tree, which I love so much. So when we got this tree, it was probably about 1.5 years ago, and it was half, I don't know, maybe not half the size, but it was not nearly the size that it is now. This is the fastest growing tree, one of the fastest growing trees. I think it'll put on like 4 feet a year. I hope I'm not wrong about that. But it's a really fast growing tree, and it loves water. And one of the most interesting things about this tree is the bark. Do you see how the bark peels? So the bark is just as interesting, if not more interesting, than the actual leaves. So the reason I put this in is because whenever we took out the cherry laurels, we had this really vast open space, and there were other things that we took out too, but so this tree is going to get about 60 feet tall and 40 feet wide. So it is a huge tree. But I love that because we need to fill that vertical space. And I needed something like a big specimen in the middle of the bed. And it's not a super dense canopy, like it's not like an oak tree. So all these plants up under here will eventually just get dappled sun all day long. And so the recurve in the back, this is just an evergreen that blooms every spring, and it smells really good, and it gets probably about 6 to 8 feet tall and maybe about 6 feet wide. So right now they're close to maturity, and we have them staggered all along the back. And then at that pine tree right there, we have 4 big shrubs, and those are viburnums suspensums. So they're different over there in that little area. And then we transplanted that boxwood and that boxwood that were on either corner of the parking pad. If you've been watching the channel, you will remember when I took out my electric trimmer and I tackled those huge boxwoods. But we ended up deciding to just take those and transplant them, and we laid sod over there. So the 3 shrubs that you see that are the pops of color, that's Miss Lemon Abelia. All right, so here's the thing about Abelia. I love Abelia, but it is a little bit more temperamental and high maintenance than other shrubs. Because if you don't trim it and if you don't fertilize it and take care of it, it can look really bad. It can lose leaves, it can look really leggy, and just not do well. Especially here in this heat. So I use it, I love it. I think it's got a great variegated leaf. There is another mass here of Shishi Camellia, pink. I might end up letting it grow together in a small hedge and just sort of fill in. I'm not really sure yet. More Abelia, 3 steed holly. We have a lot of layers in here. A drift of Carissa holly. through here. And also another mass of cinnamon girl distilium. There, and there. More Miss Lemons. And another bank of azaleas. So it's all really layered. And then we've got the forest pansy redbud. So the forest pansy redbud blooms out just like any other redbud with little bitty pink blooms, but they're sort of lavender colored, this one is, every spring. And then it puts on these leaves, but it puts on these plum deep red colored leaves. And it's not going to get as big as a, eastern redbud. The eastern's going to get, I think, at least 30 feet tall and wide. This is going to get about 20 feet tall and wide. And I need y'all to get a load of these Francis Mason abelia that I brought from my other house. I mean, y'all, like, I fertilized these a few weeks ago and I trimmed them way down. These things standing up are taller than me. So this abelia, it doesn't have that variegated leaf, but it does get new growth that is bronzy. And it has, see how pretty that is? The bright yellow and then like the red stems. But I'll get out here with my pruners and I will give them a real good haircut and shape them up. This is 3 shrubs. This is 3 shrubs. All right, and then we have more distilium over here in front of the suspensums. This is the blue cascade. And actually I had it planted in the back off of the porch and I transplanted it over here. So we have a drift of it. And then last but not least, we've got the super blue liriope on the outer border of the bed. And the super blue liriope is one that we use a bunch at the nursery on jobs because yes, it is liriope like monkey grass a lot of you are familiar with, but it doesn't spread. It's a clumping grass. So it puts up purple little blooms and it just mounds. And we have this all the way down to where the teddy bear magnolia is. And I actually didn't trim it at all this spring, so it has a bunch of brown on it, but just haven't had a chance to come out here and do it. But okay, y'all, it's Friday night. I hope everybody's getting off to a good start of their weekend. All right, y'all. Well, hope y'all are gonna have a nice night and enjoy your weekend. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hope you enjoyed this little tour. And we have been trying to find a time to do a little video out at the nursery because we've been getting so many new plants in, and there's some that I'm really excited about and I can't wait to share with y'all. All right. Bye, y'all.